I can't quite put my finger on it, but you're not going to convince me that there's not a direct link and correlation between the male loneliness epidemic, birth rates declining, and now the Department of Education deeming all these women-dominated fields as not professional. You cannot tell me these three things are not related.
There is a discussion that has been crossing my timeline for about a month now, I think, and I am sharing this with you guys because a lady has a very important question that I want you guys to hear as well. It was so funny, but still very much true. So the discussion is surrounding the male loneliness epidemic. So basically, men are lonely. And why are they lonely? What are the lies that have been told to men to make them feel loneliness? What they are currently feeling, is it actually loneliness? And for the video that I came across, it was a video of a lady just asking men, or just asking, I won't say men, or maybe just asking everyone a very simple question. Asking why they are still freaking lonely when all of the pick-me's out there have not yet been picked. And someone replied and said, the pick-me's are not even those men's type. And yes, men are lonely because they would not even go for the pick-me's. Like, you guys need to get into this conversation. If you're not going to watch any Stitch at all, please watch the Stitch from Cypher. It's going to be the first guy talking that you guys are going to see. I really want to hear what you guys think about his perspective. And without wasting much time, let's just jump into it.
How is there a male loneliness epidemic when all the pick-me women haven't been picked? I don't understand. How are you niggas lonely when there's still church thumping bitches? There's bitches that don't sell coochie, and they're all here. How are y'all lonely?
I want to talk about the male loneliness epidemic, the very idea of it, because I understand one principle. You were never meant to be this alone. I understand that. I truly do. But the world did teach you to mistake starvation for strength. And now that you're collapsing, it's hiding the real crime beneath this phrase. It's not a weather event. It is not an epidemic. This is a 400-year design flaw. I'm about to show you we were wrong. Men weren't starved of love, right? They were robbed of love. They were robbed of themselves. I'm going to tell you what happens to every man. Somebody takes your ability to feel and calls it becoming a man. Somebody takes your need for closeness and renames it weakness. Somebody takes your hunger for connection and replaces it with earning. And then they tell you that a woman is the only place you're allowed to put it all. And then they tell women that they're selfish for not wanting to carry the weight of an entire gender's emotional amputation. That's what they do. But that is not loneliness. By definition, it's not loneliness. It's an identity engineered around exile. And that's the part no man's ready for, because you never lost connection. You never lost connection. You were just never taught how to have any. Not with yourself, not with your father, not with other men, not with your feelings, not with your body, not with grief, not with fear, none of it. None of it. Not with tenderness, and definitely not with truth. And the moment that women stop being the emotional life support system that men were trained to depend on, the whole system starts screaming, huh? It did. And men blame women. But listen, I want you to understand this, because you aren't blaming women because they failed you. I just understand. I just want you to sit steady for a second. You're blaming women because if you blame the system, you have to face the fact that the system stole your entire emotional life before you were old enough to address it. Right? Before you were old enough to fight back. You'd have to face the fact that you were not raised, you were hollowed out. You were hollowed out. You have to face the fact that your rage is grief and armor. The fact that your numbness is a childhood tomb. It's a childhood tomb. The fact that everything you call strength was built on the burial of your humanity. There is no male loneliness epidemic. It doesn't exist. There is only a mass unmarked grave of men who died emotionally at 7 years old and kept walking. That's all that's left right now. That's all that's here. So just so you can stay focused, right? If you ever think you're lonely because women changed, you're lonely because the boy inside you is still locked in that room where crying meant punishment and softness meant shame and asking meant humiliation and silence was the only safe language you were allowed to speak. And that's still not loneliness. It's not loneliness, but it is a hostage situation and nobody came for you. Nobody came for you, right? So just to tell you what won't free you. Blaming women will not free you. Mocking softness will not free you. Performing strength will not free you. Being chosen won't free you. Being wanted won't free you. And being needed won't free you. None of those have the key. None of them have the key, because none of those things give back none of those things give back the self you had to sacrifice just to be considered to be a man. Just to be considered as a man, right? So just to be honest with you, right? Men are not lonely because of women. Period. No, men are lonely because masculinity made orphans out of boys and made the orphanhood manhood. And that's the reality. That's the reality, right? We live in the midst of conquered men. Men who were conquered by other men who they don't have the strength to face. That's the reality we live in. And masculinity abandons the new boy every day. every day. So unless we work harder as men, I'm telling you what story we're going to live through. Yours. That's what your child's going to live through. Your story. Everything that went wrong in it because you don't know how to fix it. You never got the emotional literacy. You got to lock in. Right? I'm just being honest with you, right? The only way out of the male loneliness epidemic, if you feel like it's something happening to you, is if you lock inward. Only way is coming out.
Wait, so men are lonely, but somehow women are the group project partner again? I've been thinking because I keep seeing this conversation about the male loneliness epidemic in America, right? But every time I see the conversation, somehow women get brought into the group chat, and I'm not sure why. Because who is exactly responsible for fixing male loneliness? Because see, what I'm noticing is a whole lot of men saying I'm lonely. Woman, you need to come fix this. Come fix me. Come guide me. Come build me a social life. So basically, they're asking women to become emotional Uber drivers. And see, that's the thing is, women, we're proactive. If something is wrong, we're going to go see whoever we need to see about it. We're going to phone a friend if we need to. Whatever we got to do, we're going to try to do it. We're not waiting on a rescue mission because one of the things we know in life is if you're waiting to be rescued, it's never going to happen. You got to save yourself. So I don't understand why some men think that they can just sit and let women do all the hard work of developing and nurturing relationships for them. And they don't do nothing. They're just there. Life doesn't work that way. That is not the job of women, and it's never been the job of women. And honestly, I see this epidemic as men choosing not to do the work that they need to do. They choose not to reach out for support. They choose not to build networks and connections with people, the men who do this stuff. So let me ask y'all, whose responsibility do you think it is? Is it the men? Is it the women? Is it everybody? Or is it just a bunch of lonely men that chose not to take responsibility for their lives? Let's talk about it, because who is actually responsible for fixing the male loneliness pattern in America? And why does everybody expect women to be the first responders?
You're lonely.
I know the reason why. The reason why that is because, again, most of the things that men say that women do, like most of the negative things that men attribute to women, it actually applies to them. So they say that women are the ones who are picky and women are the ones who have like these crazy standards, but it's actually them. See, so they don't actually want to be with someone who they don't find to be physically appealing. But men also have this fantasy about wanting to be wanted just for them. Like they don't want to be wanted for money. They want a good-looking woman who's going to be hardworking, make her own money, have children, and be a trad wife. That's what they want. And also, too, I'm going to share a little story time with you. I met this man one time. This was like about last year. I met this man. When I met him, he knows that I was working, like I was operating my own business and all of that stuff. But he started to talk to me about being a housewife and, you know, not wearing makeup. And it wasn't even wearing weave because I don't really wear weave per se, but he didn't want me to go get my hair done. Like getting my hair done is something I do. He didn't want me to go get my hair done. He didn't want me to do my nails. He didn't want me going out. He would nag me when I would go out with my friends. And it's like, listen, you met me wearing makeup. You met me going to get my hair done. You met me doing my nails. Those are all things you met me doing. Like you met me going to the gym. You met me doing all of those things. So at one point, he started to ask me to move in with him, and he was just sent a personal trainer to the house, and he was like, just write down all the machines that are in the gym, and, you know, I'll make sure I put them in the house. And I'm just like, no. They want to come to us. They want to come to the women who are who classify themselves as feminists or liberal women, and they want a chance to compromise you. They want a chance to compromise your standards, compromise who you are. They want a chance to break you. They want you to be pick-me's for them, right? I don't even think men enjoy performative women, but I think they want to take a woman like that, who's not like that, and to make you, to mold you, to break you. And men think that proximity to women means that you will sacrifice. I made a video where I spoke about that. So they want an opportunity to put you in a place where you will sacrifice. Okay? And what this also means in the same breath is some men do not like consent. right? They don't like consent. They don't like they don't like equal exchanges, right? Because if you are a conservative man or right-wing man or whatever the case may be, you would just go find a woman who has a pick-me mentality, but they don't, because something about consent they don't like. They want a chance to trick you, to change your mind, to weasel their way out of you, to manipulate you. They want a chance to be able to do that. They don't like consent. They don't like equal exchanges, right? I'm a man who wants to pick me, I go get a pick me. They don't get to convince you. They don't get to make you compromise what it is that you actually want, right? They don't get you to sacrifice. Those women aren't sacrificing anything because they are already male-centered, right? They want to come to the women who are not like that and make us like that.
There is no male loneliness epidemic. It's a skill issue. Okay, it's 2025. That Disney love mentality where you can meet a woman, one woman, and be with her forever, that stuff is gone. That time has long past faded. That doesn't exist anymore.
The male loneliness epidemic does exist, okay? And this is not a skill issue, okay? The issue here is you guys not being able to be decent human beings, especially towards women. A lot of you guys have been taught to hate women, okay? You have a women-hating cult. And somehow y'all have been trained to think that women are beneath you, like they're lesser than you. Which, by the way, is one of the reasons why you don't take women out on dates. Y'all be complaining about paying for a $10 coffee date, but then you go and break your homeboy out of jail for $200. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense, right? Like I said before, this epidemic does exist. And guess what? It's your fault.
It's hard for me to feel bad for incels because most of the people that are like suffering from this male loneliness epidemic are really just a bunch of dudes that are upset that they can't treat women any kind of way and they don't have that entitlement to women's bodies like their dads and their granddads did, because women have more access to resources now. Like a lot more women are going to college. A lot more women have the chance to be like financially stable by themselves and not have to depend on another man. You know what I mean? Like they and instead of leveling up or doing any kind of self-work to make themselves like a viable candidate for like marriage or dating, they just sit back and bitch and moan about how unfair society is and how society lied to them. And it's that last part right there that makes me have no kind of empathy for these dudes, because it's like they sit up and watch red pill content all day, and a lot of the content is where it has like women being held accountable, and it's just really hypocritical because they aren't holding themselves accountable for their bad behaviors and their actions. You know what I'm saying? And it's just it's frustrating because they, no matter what you say to them, they're always going to have this victim mentality about them, and it's just annoying as fuck. And now there are some dudes where it's like they have a hard time talking to people in general, and they aren't like the typical incels, and I do feel bad for those dudes because like I suffer from social anxiety, you know what I mean? I know what it feels like to be scared to talk to folks in public, you know what I mean? I have those people I have empathy for, but the other motherfuckers that want to get violent with women and force themselves onto women, y'all are hoes.
How is there a male loneliness epidemic when all the pick-me women haven't been picked? I don't understand.
It's because the pick-me type women aren't the women that they actually want. You know, and instead of, them actually putting work into themselves so that they can meet the standards of the women that they want so they have a better chance of attracting them, they'd rather humble those women and talk those women down from their standards to feed their egos. That's all I gotta say.
Conversation got interesting because they are blaming women. They are talking about women changing as to the reason why there is a male loneliness epidemic. Women are going to change with the way the world is today. Like, I am boldly going to say that women are going to change. There is no way that women are not going to change. I was reading an article yesterday, I think I came across on Instagram, where they are talking about how 1 or 2 women die maybe every 10 or 5 minutes due to domestic violence. Women are going to change. There was an headline I saw from the United States of some courses that they were scraping, and these are courses that women major in. Like, it's making a lot of sense. Like, these things are connecting, and that is the reason why I added the first video that you guys saw when you click on this video, because the moment I started seeing this conversation, I was putting two and two together. When I saw the article of women, like two to three women dying due to domestic violence in about 10 minutes, in every 10 minutes, I felt sad. So there is no way that women are not going to change. Women are going to change. Like, we have started seeing it online. Women are displaying self-love. They are picking friendship over relationship. They are picking themselves. Specifically, they are picking themselves. So yes, women are going to change. It's not even that women are going to change. Women have changed. Women are redirecting their focus. Like, and this, they say, is causing male epidemic. Have you been joining the conversation? I seriously want to know what you guys think about this whole thing. What do you think about the men loneliness epidemic? What do you think? Because people are coming from the different perspective, and trust me, I love all the single stitch that I saw that you guys might have seen in this video. I love every single person's perspective, and I want to hear what you guys think as well. Have you come across this conversation? Have you engaged with it? Even if you've engaged with it before, please share in the comment section what you think about the conversation surrounding male loneliness epidemic. They said the men are lonely because women have changed. I know that it's so okay for women to change, because if they do not change, their life is on the line, and nobody wants to die, you know. So let me hear what you guys think in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation down below, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one.